So here we go, Tumba here with Rajun Cajun. We'll be referring to him as Rajun, my co-caster. Can't wait from ASCweekly.com. ASC Weekly champion. What's up, Rajun?
Nothing much. Just hoping to see some good gameplay by these two amazing players.
Absolutely. And today we are going to be casting a PVZ. We're going to see Time spawning as the blue Protoss in the northeast section of Xel'Naga, not usually referred to that way, but we're gonna go with that, northeast. And in the southwest would be FXOSheth. Sheth, a very well-mannered opposite of Idra, if you will, Zerg.
Very well-mannered.
Absolutely. Always love watching him play, always love reading his interviews. Also love watching Idra play and love reading his interviews as well, not taking anything away from him, just one sort of plays the good guy role, one kind of plays the bad guy role.
You hit that square on the spot right there. I don't think they could be more opposite than what they are in personality-wise.
No, I couldn't agree more. They are definitely polar opposites, if you will. One's always kind of not just well-mannered, but as far as his opponent goes, he always seems to be very positive toward him. And Idra might be known to be a little bit negative toward his counterpart in the game.
That is true. And I have also never really seen Sheth just quit a game when you see Void Race. He always plays it out, and sometimes he wins.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm thinking he knows how to deal with them. So does Idra, of course. But Idra does a lot of things just to make a point, I think. So as we see, we've got this Overlord making its way up to the spawning position for the Protoss. Going to kind of peekaboo, see what's going on.
And we see this probe down here in Sheth's base, scouting that 14 pool.
14 pool sees the extractors down. So Rajun, you main Zerg. What is this telling you that Sheth is looking to open up with here?
Mainly when you see a 13 gas, 14 pool, it's pretty much standard for speedlings.
Okay.
For that little Zergling harass at the beginning, that's very common for every Zerg.
Yes, and very common for every Protoss to get quite annoyed with it. You will even see some games here recently in NASL that they cause a bit of a problem for one of the NASL player casters. Not to ruin it or spoil it for anybody, which I just obviously did, because there's only one NASL player caster, but that was sort of the point. Zerglings making their way up to this probe, and this probe saying, I just want to go home, leave me alone, I hope there's a zealot at my front ramp to kind of stop you guys, and guess what? There he is.
Yeah, I just want to point at the timing that Sheth has, taking exactly drones off a gas at exactly 100 gas just to get that metabolic boost, just to get that speedling upgrade. That's great timing on his part.
Thank you for reminding me, bringing up the name and the production tab, and we see in the production tab that you hit it right on the head. Exactly what he's doing. Metabolic boost being researched and applied.
Yep. And we see Sheth going for some more drones as he sees he cannot get into the base of the Protoss, so he's going to start droning up and get into that macro style of the game.
Yeah, just kind of parking his Zerglings out, saying, hey, I'm going to make a presence, going to do a light contain on you here. Don't want to throw these units away, because I know an attack is sort of futile. Very hard to break a Protoss, especially when he's got 2 sentries, can lower that surface area. And this looks to me like we're going to see a 3-gate sentry expand, very standard from our Protoss player time. And Sheth's going to make that as hard on him as he possibly can.
I believe he will. And we see this drifting Overlord going around the back of the Protoss's base. And it's going to stop right there and prove me wrong that he won't see in the base.
Very common to kind of hang out where that Overlord is and peek and probe in when he can. Warp Gate research now finished for the Protoss. Good force fields going down there, protecting this pylon he's going to use to go ahead and wall off, protect from any Zergling run-bys. Waiting for that sentry count to get to 5 typically before you move out. I believe Time's going to go a little early with 4. Fairly confident he'll be okay here. Now what you want to do next as the Protoss is you want to throw a forge down, start researching +1 immediately. Get down a Robo, get an Observer out, see what that Zerg is up to, and these lings aren't going to be enough to deny this expansion. So, Rajun, what's going through the Zerg's mind right now? What's he thinking? Okay, I've got to let him get this expansion up. What is my response to this as a Zerg?
In that response, you generally want to have one base over your enemy if it's not another Zerg, just because you have to be able to replenish those units right away. And as we can see, he already has his natural almost saturated just ahead of that Protoss. And since he realized that the Speedlings will not make that much of a dent in the Protoss's wall, he's going to transition into Roaches, as you see him making a few Roaches right now. And then I'll assume he's going to tech to lair pretty soon after he gets his second gas, which he is getting right now, and he just spawned into lair as I hit it right on the nose there.
Yes, and you did. A veritable wealth of knowledge. You are almost like Vorap, our resident encyclopedia StarCraft. I see that he does have Roaches on the field also, like you called, did tech to lair. So why is he teching, for the new players out there watching this, why is he teching to lair? What advantage does that grant him?
Teching the lair gives the Roaches that amazing speed boost.
Oh, I'm sorry, hold that thought. We've got action up in the Protoss bases. These lings are going to try to accomplish a run by, and I'm assuming this is just a harass. It's not a push for a win. You just want to do a little mineral line harassment. So I'm sorry, teching to lair.
Oh, that is fine. Teching the lair gives the Zerg that ability to upgrade the Roach's speed, which the Roaches are a very powerful unit, but their weakness is they're really slow, especially off creep. So given that extra speed will make them more beneficial into the mid-game fights, be able to move around the map, especially since it's kind of a long distance between Sheth's base and Time's base.
Sure.
And then it also allows them, as Sheth is doing, getting that burrow, because you need lair to upgrade to burrow. And we will see probably in the future some burrow move in micro play by Sheth here.
Yeah, burrow very effective against those sentry force fields. Very hard to deal with. July Zerg, OGSMC, I harken back to, used that match as a benchmark a lot, because it was the first time I think we really saw OGS abuse a Zerg with force fields. And a lot of complaining from the Zergs until they figured out, wait a second, I can just burrow and go right underneath those things.
That is correct. That is a very effective way to counter the OP force fields from Protoss, as some people might call them.
I'm not going to touch that one. We're not going to go there. It's fine with me. It's not like I can just make a real cheap unit that can engage off creep, a move into some other army and win. Anyway, getting back to this game, one cannon down. I don't see one in the mineral line. I typically like to put one there. Skipping the observer, making me look dumb and going straight to immortal. Nothing wrong with that. He did, however, research +1 attack, going for now +1 armor as well. Protoss tend to leave that shield upgrade alone for a little while. It's very expensive. And look at this. Gooped it.
Gooped it pretty good.
Gooped it pretty good. Will not be able to produce anything out of that structure until that wears off.
And then as we see Sheth quickly taking his third, as he sees that the Protoss has, with that Ling scouting that he did a little earlier, sees that he has his second, and he needs to still remain one base upon the Protoss to be able to replenish his army in the upcoming battles.
Yes, and actually, Time at this point gets the observer out now, a little bit later, and he will be going for his third base as he texts to Colossus, if I'm not mistaken. I know that's what I do. This is very, very standard play. No surprises here. Throwing down some additional gateways. But if he wants to go for things like extended thermal lance and get that crucial Colossi count, he's going to have to go and expand. And it's actually easier to take this gold expansion than it is anything else. But he may be going for a timing here, because I don't see him attacking the rocks. So he may be foregoing this third and maybe using this opportunity. Yes, he has a forward pylon planted here he wants to take by this.
I believe he's going for attack right here.
Yes, this is his timing. He feels this is his timing, and he has the units necessary. Going to put down 2 forward pylons here to warp in reinforcements from. I do believe that the Overlord is aware of his presence. He does have this observer that's going to help him find any of those burrowed roaches. Glial Constitution being researched, Reconstitution I should say, one of the hardest upgrades to actually pronounce.
I do like what Time is doing right there, taking out all those creep tumors as he sees the Hydralisk come out, because Hydralisk off of the creep is very slow. And we see a battle going on, and Roaches are getting decimated by the Stalkers and the 2 Immortals that are right there.
Yep, Stalkers do not have blink, but you see great use of force fields going down, cupping in those roaches and trying to go ahead and cut his army off. Could have been a little bit better done, but we're going to see actually Guardian Shields going up, and those Immortals do such great damage. But look, Sheth's going to burrow, but actually it's not going to help him out that much because the Observer is still alive, has not picked that off up. I do not think that the Zerg has any detection, but whittling down this Protoss force getting real messy and whittling down this Zerg force. And it looks like
having to pull drones off of line just to counter this attack right here.
That's never a good thing, right? When you have to pull those drones, you're down to the wire. Stalkers do not have blink. Would be rise to retreat. Hopefully, get those drones off your back. Just to kind of replenish, reinforce here.
And I missed. I don't know if you caught this, but I definitely missed it. A hidden fourth.
Yes, the fourth going down. And guess what? Spotted. Stalkers see it. This is very bad for Sheth, and they're going to go ahead and take this out. No chance to go ahead and cancel it because it already has spawned. They will get the Overlord as well as he's not moving. This puts Sheth in a very, very bad position, I would say. Supply count 91 to, but look at this supply count. I don't mean to interrupt you. Supply count time is 91, but Sheth is at 138. I would assume a lot of that is drones.
As we pull the units tab, Sheth does have a good 12 drones over the Protoss right now, just because he has that third base saturated, I would say. But that is. Oh, and Chef's unit supply jumping all the way up to 170, as he is making more roaches to deal with these Stalkers.
Yes, Roach is very good against Stalkers on creep. Off creep, maybe a bit of a different story. With blink, turns the battle all the way. Now, I'm not sure if I agree with Time taking this expansion, and there is going to be an attack. Force field's going down, segmenting that army, and Stalkers are going to do work from a distance on these roaches. Hydras tend to wreck gateway units, but we now have Blink Micro. Blink has been researched. Little Blink Micro from Time doing his best and blinks away. May have to just cancel this Nexus. And this is what I was alluding to earlier. It's actually easier to take your gold. Does get the cancel off. Actually would have been easier for him to take his gold than it would have been that particular one. Easier to defend, easier to move your army around. And Sheth is going to keep this aggression up here. Is going to move into this Protoss army and try to sack this expansion over here. But I don't think it's going to go too well for him unless he completely overwhelm it. It's going to come down to the Blink Micro here.
Pretty much, that's what it is. And we see Sheth backing up with a hatchery right there, and there's the GG.
Okay, so making me look stupid, Protoss is going to be overwhelmed, and that's going to be it. I thought that we'd see a little bit better Blink Micro there.
I thought so too,
at the very end
but I figure he just A-clicked pretty much on a couple of those battles.
Yeah, it seems that way. They typically when you do the A-click, you do get that nice surround, that nice firing arc, which we did see him have. As I said, it was a little bit disappointed to see that he really wasn't doing too much Blink Micro there, and that could turn the battle in the favor of Time. And it reminds me of Hydra vs. Cruncher, because Hydra vs. Cruncher Game 2 pulled out this very, very good Blink Micro where every time the Stalkers engaged the Roaches off of creep, he would simply blink away and try to pick a better area of battle, try to pick a choke or somewhere that Idra was going to have to focus his units through a tunnel. And really, it's a matter of unit retention with Blink, where you can save the unit, not have it go down, and keep punishing the Zerg for making more and more roaches while your original your original Stalkers blink away and stay alive.
I believe so, and I also believe that Sheth just had better multitasking ability over time, because as you can see, with that last attack going for the natural, he sending a drone to the top base, in the, what is that? I would say east mineral patch.
The 3 o'clock. Yeah, look at that. You're right. Yeah. He went ahead and he did. He went ahead and was expanding yet again, even though he was just denied at about the 9-10 o'clock expansion. It didn't stop him. He says, you know what? I'm going to keep expanding. And that just amazes me. That's so easier.
And on top of that,
done.
he's also took those 2 overseers that were around there and was gooping up the warp gates to where the Time could not warp in extra units to hold this counterattack by Sheth.
Yeah, very nicely done. That will shut down the production on the Protoss player. Will not allow them to warp in reinforcements. And that's going to be it for this cast. I'm Tumba.
I'm Raging.
And we'll see you guys next time.